but it seems like there's a, like before with the red triangle, that there's a small quick note that's really quick that may not be able to notice it, but I did edit it to have an extra triangle where I thought there was one, but when I played it back it didn't fit, and I thought it looked a lot better with just having it how it is now, and left it to that because I felt, to me, I was a lot more happier with how it is. And another thing is, I really like the experimenting with different sizes, using outlines, not using outlines. Um, I did want to add background actually, and put more colour for the background instead of keeping it white, but it does look nice white, but I think with, I don't know, maybe, well, maybe dark colour to contrast to the lighter colour would have been a lot more better for it. I think another thing would have been if the backgrounds, if this was actually black and had the colours showing, it would look really nice with them. Same way with this part, with all the colours really stand out with the black background compared to the white, where the white, it seems like it's sinking into the negative space, compared to here where it really does stand out from the colour, because it's obviously the brightest colour, the brightest, well, the only colour really, and the brightest colour on screen, so it also kind of draws the audience's eyes more to something. So I think maybe doing a bit more of this would have been a lot more better, and having more of a black background around it, especially here, because I think now that would look really nice with a black background. And then same again here with this bit. Yeah, experiment with different backgrounds, I think would have been better, because I think from animating and used to always having a white background and not really experimenting much with backgrounds or doing much with backgrounds, because it is a lot of effort to do a detailed background, and I mean by effort is a lot of time to do, um, and we don't have long really to do these, but I do feel like I did kind of go overboard or very ambitious with a lot of these experiments. But overall, I've enjoyed it all, and uh, definitely use majority, if not all, of the techniques in the future, because you can even put them to a narrative base as well. If doing something more narrative driven animation, you can still use techniques of timing. I mean, timing to music like this is used all the time in animation, even to characters. If you wanted animate a character to the music, you will be animating it to the music. The same way, logging the frames and how long it takes. For example, it takes 2 seconds for it to go from that note to that note, to one note to the next note, and if you want a character to run across for that long. So that way is used a lot, and it is a big thing to grasp. But overall, this one, I think I'm really happy with this. Came out really well, and put a lot of time in it, and experimented a lot, and seen what I could do with just the music, especially with the idea of being curious with what I could do with this, and this is now the finished product, is what I have done with it. But it's definitely a nice thing to have, like symbols and basic shapes used instead of seeing a generic figure or human or animal in something for music that you see a lot. And it's a really good thing to get into, seeing a lot of different animations. And seeing a lot of different animations and creating them yourself, and it could be that you suddenly get really into one of them and want to do a lot more of that, for example, into under the camera, and want to get more doing more of that instead of what you may have wanted to do before. Overall, really happy with this. The drawings as well, I thought were really good. Some of them I did trace, and some of them I think these I traced, but these ones I kind of looked at the picture and drew it digitally. But overall, yeah, really happy. A complete different way of animating, and things appearing on the note like I've done before. But it's really good fun, especially with using the song that I like myself, which gives you a lot of enthusiasm towards something, and more enthusiasm to put more enthusiasm on top of the enthusiasm of enjoying animation as well, let alone liking the song that I'm animating to. But would like to do a lot more of this. Experiments with different genres, maybe small little snippets, maybe 5 seconds or more would be nice to do more in the future. But overall, really happy with what I've got. That's everything. Overall, really happy with it, and happy with the timing. But also, as I said, there can be things of animating animating something for so long that you kind of think it's out of time, you think that's wrong, and really you've probably been working too much on that one thing, so it's probably go away and do a different animation and come back to this one later and then check it. It's always good to leave. If you are animating the sound and you're getting in sync with something, it is good if you get to the point where you can't really tell and you've kind of gone over it over and over again, kind of losing your mind. It's good to have a break, stay away from it, come back and then check it, because that way you probably like to spot mistakes more than after animating it for hours and then checking it afterwards. After staring at the computer for so long, you won't tend to notice things a lot easier. So another thing would be breaks, to check it, the timing a lot better. And that's everything that I can say, and as I said a lot, really happy with it. Just thinking now, the kind of rough drawing a bit, not, it would have been nice to see it all nice and clean, but with rough drawings, for example, like doodles, like Stuart Hilton does, it has its advantage, and it can stick to your animation style of how you draw. I think maybe if I did this traditionally, then it would have probably looked a lot cleaner, a lot more cleaner lines. But that would have took a long time to do it traditionally and then trace it digitally. If I was to trace it digitally after traditionally animating it, it would have took a very long time. But with having it as traditional, the same way I've done this, would have probably took the same amount of times, if not maybe quicker, because I'm a lot more used to pencil and paper than a graphics tablet. But yeah, that is now everything that I've got to say, and yeah.